All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour, where it will be soon time for Boris Johnson to bid adieu to 10 Downing Street. But his departure is nothing short of what is being now described as a bit of a humiliating one for a Prime Minister who's had a pretty flamboyant political career. Now remember, before taking office, he in fact mocked the former Prime Minister Theresa May. But today he appears to be walking in her own shoes and is also leaving behind a country that is far worse than what he had inherited when he became the Prime Minister. Now remember, when he was elected back in 2019, he had just one aim, and that was to pull the United Kingdom out of the European Union, that famously came to be known as the Brexit. And he did just that. Boris Johnson delivered on his promise, but Brexit came at a tremendous cost. It has badly hurt the British economy, but for the people who wanted to leave, they still think that this was a smart move that they did. It appears to have knocked off nearly about 4% of the potential GDP of Great Britain in the long term. But this is just the economical impact. On the international stage, United Kingdom's influence has also taken a bit of a beating. In a sense, the notion that Brexit had enabled the British people to take back control of their own destiny has proven to be a complete hogwash. It's also a failed discussion on the protocol in Northern Ireland has exemplified this. Now, this takes us to another issue, the cost of living in the United Kingdom, a very basic factor to judge the economy of any country. In comparison with its neighbours, the United Kingdom's per capita growth and productivity are now beginning to lag behind. Energy prices are soaring. Inflation is through the roof. The public sector strikes are just a few issues that are plaguing the British society. It seems like every issue in the United Kingdom can be traced back to Brexit. Take the ongoing Doverport gridlock as an example. It's a question that many are asking: how is the jam at Dover created by something that came into effect 2 years ago? Well, this is the first real peak weekend for travellers since the Brexit transition phase ended. The pandemic and the quarantine rules had hampered all travel plans, so it was not very clear as to how this bottleneck would have been created. So since Britain is now out of the Union now, it is not included in its travel exemptions. Hundreds of thousands of passengers flying to Greece, Spain and Italy will now have to spend time queuing up to have their passports stamped. This was something that they earlier did not need to do. So every time it's holiday season or vacation time, these scenes will be repeated. So how is this likely to hamper the tourism industry? Well, this is something that remains to be seen over the course of the next few years to come. While Boris Johnson was the man who delivered Brexit, finally his legacy will be defined by the series of scandals, big and small, that have dominated his prime ministership. The United Kingdom is gearing up for its next prime minister. It will be very interesting to see as to how he or she can clean up the mess that's been left behind by Boris Johnson at 10 Downing Street. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.